In a small village, there lived an elderly man named Mr. Johnson. He was known for his kindness and wisdom. Every day, he would sit by the village square, where people would come to seek his advice and listen to his stories. One sunny morning, a young boy named Timmy approached Mr. Johnson. Timmy looked sad, and his eyes were filled with tears. Mr. Johnson asked, "What's troubling you, Timmy?" Timmy replied, "I lost my favorite toy, Mr. Johnson. It was a gift from my grandmother and I can't find it anywhere." Mr. Johnson patted Timmy on the shoulder and said, "I understand how much that toy means to you, Timmy. Let's go and look for it together." For hours, they searched high and low, but they couldn't find the lost toy. Timmy grew increasingly upset, and tears continued to stream down his face. At that moment, Mr. Johnson stopped and knelt down to Timmy's eye level. He said, "Timmy, I know you loved your toy and it's okay to be sad about losing it, but I want to tell you a story." Timmy sniffled and nodded, eager to hear Mr. Johnson's story. Mr. Johnson began, "Once upon a time, there was a wise old man like me. He had a beautiful ring that was very precious to him. One day, he lost the ring, just like you lost your toy. He searched everywhere but couldn't find it. He felt sad, just like you do now." Timmy listened intently, wiping away his tears. Mr. Johnson continued, "Years passed and the man had almost forgotten about the ring. Then one day, while working in his garden, he found it buried in the soil. He was overjoyed." Timmy looked curious and asked, "What's the moral of the story, Mr. Johnson?" Mr. Johnson smiled and said, "The moral, Timmy, is that sometimes we lose things we love and it's okay to be sad, but we should never lose hope. Just like the old man found his ring when he least expected it, sometimes good things come back to us when we least expect them." Timmy's eyes brightened, and he thanked Mr. Johnson for the story and the valuable lesson. As the sun began to set, Timmy returned home with a glimmer of hope in his heart, realizing that even though he had lost something dear to him, there was still a chance that it might find its way back to him someday.